Hello and welcome everyone to techdaily.ai. It is great to have you with us. I'm David, and today we're going to get into some really fascinating territory. We usually look at all the shiny new toys, the breakthroughs, but today we're doing something a little different, a bit of an autopsy, really, on the things we're leaving behind. And joining me to help make sense of it all is our resident analyst, Sophia. Welcome back.
Hi, thanks for having me. I love this topic. It's a real reality check. We get so hyped about what's new that we forget to look at what's quietly walking off stage.
Absolutely. Now, before we jump into that tech graveyard, just have a quick message for our listeners. You can sponsor this podcast for just $25. Your message will be featured across major platforms like Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, and more. If you're interested, visit techdaily.ai to get started today.
Short and sweet.
Exactly. Okay. So, check the calendar. It is January 2026. Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year to you, too.
And looking at that date really got me thinking. We're just constantly hit with the next big thing, the new AI, the new foldable phone, the app that writes your emails. But we rarely stop and look at the other side of that. I mean, innovation is kind of a zero-sum game, right? For something new to live, something else often have to die.
That's just the nature of the digital age. It's relentless. And we're looking at predictions for tech that experts say will be, effectively dead, gone by 2030. That's only 4 years from now.
4 years. That feels like tomorrow in tech time. It's a single product cycle for a lot of companies.
It really is. And the theme isn't just, old things break. It's about friction. We are just systematically killing off any technology that introduces friction into our lives, even stuff we have a deep emotional attachment to.
So we're basically ruthless pragmatists.
Essentially, yes. If it slows us down, we kill it.
Okay, let's test that theory. First victim on the list. This one hits me right in the nostalgia. We're talking about the death of physical media, specifically the DVD and Blu-ray. Stop me if I'm being too romantic here, but there was something about owning the physical object, right? The art, the booklet.
I knew you'd say that. And you're not alone. There's a real psychology to that tactile ownership. But if we look at the cold, hard facts, that emotional connection is just losing to utility. The sales data, it's plummeted by over 86% since the peak in the early 2000s.
86%. Wow. That's not a decline. That's a collapse. But let me play devil's advocate for a second. What about the cinephiles? The real movie buffs who still buy 4K Blu-rays because the quality, the actual bitrate, is higher than streaming.
Right.
Are we saying quality just doesn't matter anymore?
And that's the critical insight here. Quality matters, but convenience matters. Like exponentially more to the mass market. Yes, a 4K Blu-ray technically looks better than a Netflix stream, but is it convenient? No.
Right. I have to stand up, find the case, hope the disc isn't scratched, then sit through that unskippable FBI warning.
Exactly. It's cumbersome. We call it the friction of access, and streaming reduced that friction to basically zero. You've got these massive bottomless libraries right there on demand.
But there's a hidden cost, right? The whole idea of ownership versus licensing.
Correct. It's digital feudalism. You buy a movie on a platform, you don't actually own it. You're just renting it indefinitely.
And if the platform loses the rights or just goes away?
Your library vanishes. With a DVD, you owned that piece of plastic. No one could take it back. The prediction is that by 2030, almost everyone will have voluntarily traded true ownership for temporary access.
Just to save them walking to the DVD player. That's a little sobering.
It is.
Okay, so if the discs are going, that brings us right to the screen itself. Because the second item on our list is the end of appointment TV.
This is a huge cultural shift. We're watching the slow death of traditional linear broadcast television.
The old tune in at 8 p.m. or you miss it forever model. I remember that anxiety, rushing home to catch a show.
It was a water cooler moment, right? Everyone saw the same thing at the same time, but that model is broken. The data shows streaming already accounts for over a quarter of all TV time in the U.S.
A quarter?
And for people under 50, it's the vast majority.
Okay, but hang on. What about live sports and news? Aren't those the two pillars holding up traditional cable?
They are, but even that's shifting. Look at the deals Amazon and Apple are making for sports rights. The killers, Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, they're coming for live events. But the real weapon here isn't just content, it's the algorithm.
Explain that. How does an algorithm kill broadcast TV?
Well, traditional TV is based on a schedule someone in a boardroom guessed you'd like on a Tuesday night.
Right.
Streaming platforms don't guess. They use all this data to know exactly what you want to watch. right now.
So the TV guide gets replaced by my own personal feed.
Exactly. It knows you want to watch a 90s sitcom at 2 in the morning. A network executive never knew that.
And there's another thing, maybe the final nail in the coffin, really. That's why I cut the cord years ago.
Oh, I know this one. Commercials.
The ads. It's actually jarring now when you see live TV. You forget how much of your life you used to spend watching car insurance ads.
It breaks the immersion. And we have whole generations growing up now who see non-skippable ads as like a hostile act.
They just won't put up with it.
So yeah, by 2030, tuning in at a specific time will probably seem as archaic as churning your own butter.
We'll be telling kids, back in my day, we had to wait a whole week to see what happened next.
They'll just look at you, confused.
Okay, so let's move out of the living room and into, the hallway? The kitchen wall?
The landline.
The landline. This really does feel like a walk through a museum of my childhood. That phone was the heart of the home, the lifeline.
It was. But now, the analysis pretty much calls it a relic.
Is it really dead, though? I mean, I feel like I still see them in offices or at my parents' house.
It's dying a slow death, but the trajectory is fatal. The research says only 40% of U.S. households even have one. And a lot of those are zombie lines, bundled with a cable package but not even plugged in.
The culprit is obviously the smartphone. But let's go deeper than just, I can play games on my iPhone. There's an infrastructure argument, isn't there?
That's the key. It's not just us. The telecom companies themselves want to kill it.
They do. Why?
Because maintaining that old copper wire network is incredibly expensive. It's physical, it's degrading, it's a money pit. They desperately want to move everyone to voice over IP or cellular because it's so much cheaper to maintain software than rotting copper wires.
But what about reliability? The whole, if the power goes out, the landline still works argument.
That is the one valid counter-argument. We are losing a bit of a safety net there, to an extent. But mobile networks are so ubiquitous now, and new phones have satellite emergency features. They're filling that gap. And the smartphone just does everything else. It's your GPS, your bank, your camera.
And texting. I mean, who actually calls anyone anymore?
Exactly. Asynchronous communication is king. A landline is a single-function device in a multifunction world. It's tethered to a wall. We're not.
We are free-range humans now.
For better or worse.
All right, so the landline's out. Next up, something I don't think anyone is going to miss. I certainly won't be.
What's that?
The password.
Ah, yes. The extinction of the text-based password.
Please, just tell me this is really happening. I am so tired of the struggle. Your password must contain a capital letter, a number, a symbol, the blood of a unicorn.
And then you forget it.
Instantly. It's a broken system.
It is a broken system. Human brains are not designed to remember high-entropy strings of random characters, so we use password 123 or our dog's name.
Which makes us vulnerable.
Exactly. It's a security paradox. To make a password secure, you have to make it impossible to remember.
So what's the solution? I hear about passkeys and biometrics, but is it actually safe?
Biometric authentication is the replacement. Fingerprint scanners, facial recognition.
Okay, but let me be the skeptic.
Yeah.
If my password gets stolen, I change it. If my fingerprint data gets stolen, I can't really change my fingerprint. Isn't that a huge risk?
That's a really common misconception, and it's important to clear up. When you use your phone's fingerprint scanner, your actual fingerprint image isn't being sent to a server at Apple or Google.
It's not.
No. The device creates a mathematical hash, like a complex code from your print. That hash is stored locally on a secured chip in your phone. It never leaves. So even if a hacker got in, all they'd find is useless code, not your fingerprint.
Okay, that makes me feel a lot better. So the tech is ready.
Over 80% of smartphone users are already using some form of biometric security. The adoption is massive because, again, it reduces friction.
It's just easier. Look at my phone is easier than typing in some crazy password.
We're moving to a world where you are the password. Big tech companies are all pushing for passkeys, which use this biometric verification to log you into everything.
Well, by 2030, typing a password will feel like hand cranking a car to start it.
That's the hope.
Speaking of cars, okay, we ditched the DVDs, the TV schedule, the landline, the password. Now we get to the big one. This feels like the most significant shift on the list.
It's certainly the most impactful, physically.
We're talking about the shift from gas to electric vehicles, the end of the internal combustion engine.
And this one always raises eyebrows. Because the combustion engine has been the backbone of the global economy for over a century.
It shaped our cities, our geopolitics, our climate, everything.
It did. So predicting its death is a massive claim. But this isn't just about what consumers want, like with DVDs. This is a top-down structural change.
You mean governments are forcing it?
Yes. It's legislation. Governments around the world are pushing for cleaner alternatives because of the climate crisis. And the analysis highlights the California mandate. California has committed to banning the sale of new gas-powered cars by 2035.
That is a hard deadline, and usually where California goes.
The whole market follows. It's too big to ignore. Automakers aren't going to build a separate production line just for the other states. They'll pivot the whole fleet.
But let's talk about the elephant in the room. Range anxiety. Charging infrastructure. I hear people say, I'd love an EV, but I can't charge it in my apartment, or what if I need to drive 600 miles? Is the tech really ready by 2030?
That is the friction point. We're in the middle of that S-curve of adoption right now. Battery tech is improving incredibly fast, range is going up, charging speed is coming down. But the grid, the infrastructure, that's the bottleneck.
Right. Can the grid even handle millions of cars plugging in every night at 6 p.m.?
That is the billion-dollar engineering problem to solve. But the prediction isn't that every gas car vanishes by 2030. It's that the dominance of the gas car ends. By 2030, buying a new gas car will be a niche, difficult choice, like buying a manual transmission is today.
So the gas station slowly becomes a charging station. And the sound of our cities.
Yeah.
It just changes.
Silence will be the new sound of horsepower. And think about maintenance. An electric motor has so few moving parts compared to a combustion engine. No oil changes, no spark plugs.
Less friction. Again.
Exactly. Less friction and a lower cost of ownership over time.
So when you look at this whole list, DVDs, broadcast TV, landlines, passwords, gas cars, what's the common thread? Is it just efficiency?
I think the core theme is integration. We're moving away from these single-purpose, standalone items, a disk, a phone on the wall, and toward integrated, networked, seamless experiences.
It all feels a little overwhelming sometimes. We're losing these tactile things.
It can be. There is a sense of loss. We're trading stuff for services. But I think there's an emotional question here, too. Is it sad or is it exciting?
That is the question. Part of me mourns the DVD store, but another part of me loves unlocking my phone with my face and having the world's entire library in my pocket.
That tension is part of the thrill, right? We're living in that transition. We're the generation that actually remembers the before times.
We're the bridge.
We are.
It really makes you think about your own habits. So I want to ask you, the listener, are you ready for this future? Or is there one piece of tech, a huge DVD collection or a vintage muscle car that you just can't let go of?
I still have a stash of CDs I can't bring myself to part with, so I get it.
See, even the experts hold on.
We're only human. Nostalgia's a powerful drug.
Before we wrap up, I want to leave everyone with one last thought. If these staples, things we thought were permanent, are disappearing by 2030, what are we using right now that will be gone in the next 5 years? What's the smartphone of 2031 going to replace? Maybe the screen itself?
That's the million-dollar question. If Neuralinks or AR glasses really take off, yeah. Looking down at a rectangle of glass might seem as old-fashioned as a rotary phone.
A terrifying and exciting thought. Well, thank you so much for walking us through the graveyard today. It was really enlightening.
My pleasure. It's always fun to look ahead.
And thanks to all of you for listening to TechDaily.ai. Keep your eyes open because the future is coming fast. We'll see you next time.